you find that every metric points to one reality, one truth. And we've known this for thousands of years, but at least from a data standpoint, recently, in the past century, close to a century of researching this, the data points to the fact that if you have better relationships, you live longer, you live with better energy, you do your work better, your business grows better, you have a better general quality of life. And then the opposite side is true as well, is that when your relationships, especially your core relationships, if they are not working, you are less focused, your health deteriorates, your energy is drained, and your business starts to go down slowly. And even if it's going up, you feel less and less fulfillment out of it. And my question is, do you know the real impact of the relationships in your life? And I'm not just talking about your personal relationships, but it starts with your personal relationships, your business relationships with your partners, with your team members, the team that you have, the partnerships that you build, the employees. And then the third set is your bigger family and community as you extend out, and potential clients and potential collaborators, all kinds of people. What is the real impact of that on you? And the reason why I ask this question is that most people underestimate it. And I want to share some data around this. If you look at any kind of research in relationship studies, and by the way, we've done about 80 plus years of relationship studies. We have tested relationships, we have analyzed them from a psychological point of view, from a neurological point of view, from physiological point of view, the effects of it on our heart rate, on our health, well-being, the effects of it on our stress levels, how we recover, how we heal. You find that every metric points to one reality, one truth. And we've known this for thousands of years, but at least from a data standpoint, recently, in the past century, close to a century of researching this, the data points to the fact that if you have better relationships, you live longer, you live with better energy, you do your work better. Sorry, my AI thing. Do your work better, your business grows better, you have a better general quality of life. And then the opposite side is true as well, is that when your relationships, especially your core relationships, if they are not working, you are less focused, your health deteriorates, your energy is drained, and your business starts to go down slowly. And even if it's going up, you feel less and less fulfillment out of it. So it impacts every area, and there are two powerful decisions that people need to spend more and more time understanding. One is where you live is an important decision, and where with the environment that you live in, that could be the town, the city, the neighborhood. The other decision is your life partner, and then I will add a third one is the people that you interact with on a consistent basis. This is why you've heard that you're the average of 5 people around you. Could not be more true. Because they will define everything from your thought processes to how you make decisions, to what you think about, to how you think about something, how you feel on a consistent basis. All it are heavily reliant on your relationships. And here's the crazy part: most people spend very little time thinking about their relationships. They worry a lot, they struggle a lot, but that doesn't mean they actually think through and make better decisions in relationships. And I'll share a couple of stories with you. Now, I worked recently with a couple who had a child who's going through cancer. Now, this couple had been struggling with their relationship for a long time. This was way before the child got cancer. In fact, they were sleeping in separate rooms. And by the time one of the spouses reached out to me, lots of things were broken. They had gone through lots of therapy, none of it worked. They needed to be there for their child who was going through cancer, but they didn't even know how to work with each other. They were forced to work together, but they were so disconnected, and their whole family was feeling it. And they even knew that there was some impact of the way their relationship has been for years that had an impact on the health of their family, and especially their child. Now imagine the pain of that person. Now they did not know how to move forward. Now they went through a year coaching and they recovered their relationship, thankfully. And that was one of the things that I was really happy about, that they had to do a lot of the work, but they were able to recover from the challenges, and thank God their child recovered as well in the process from cancer. And I would bet that it had an effect on the child's healing process as well, because we know that at this point, your environment has a huge impact on your health. And I'll take another case study of another one of my clients who fairly successful in business, but struggled with personal relationships for 20 plus years. His focus was fully on business, but now after 20 plus years, he struggled to maintain any kind of personal relationships, even though very good on the business side. But now coming around to a point where he wants to take the business to the next level, now he's struggling to build similar, more better relationships with even his team, which are who are helping him grow the business to the next level. Now he's seeing the effects of the thing that he was lacking in his personal life is now affecting the business as well. And he has no idea how to go about it, but he's making progress, but it's painful, the process. I'll give you another case study of somebody who struggled with trauma in their relationship from early on. They've gone through lots of therapy, and they've come to a point where they've developed a certain amount of success. Now they want to build a family, but they don't even know how to go about it. Therapy has worked to some degree, but they don't know how to move forward, how to even make sense of relationships, because a lot of the wiring is messed up internally when you're in a trauma state. You cannot see reality for what it is. You see it through a specific lens. And if it's a trauma lens, you don't know how to connect with people. Now, while this person is making headways in business, they're struggling in their personal life and they really want to build a relationship. Not only that, they feel held back in business. Even though they're growing, they feel like there's a part of them that are held back, and in other cases they don't even know that it's holding them back. Now I'll give you one last case study of a client who has a family, everything seems to be okay, good, but they can't move forward in business because they're moving from a corporate situation to business, but they struggle. This person struggles, and this person is drained. This energy is drained consistently, and he doesn't realize the impact of that the spouse and his relationships have on his business, because he doesn't even connect the dots there. And I say that because one of the biggest predictors of my success in business was the support from my wife. And I've seen this over and over in investors, entrepreneurs of all kinds. As soon as they have a relationship and they don't have the support, a lot of their energy is drained in that process. And they don't realize it. They think they're just overworked or overloaded or overwhelmed, but none of that's true. But a huge percent of their energy is held back into making sense of that relationship or dealing the pain that is causing them. And it's all a subconscious process. Now, these are extreme cases, but they're also fairly normal cases in the coaching world, which means that I have the privilege to work with these people and support them to move forward and make better decisions and create better habits and better ways of connecting with people, whether that be with their family members, team members, their collaborators, their clients. And one last case study. So one client that I've had, she's had a challenge with even getting better clients, and she thinks it's a sales problem on the technical side, but as I've gone through her sales process, I realize is that she doesn't even know how to build relationships, and sales is a relationship business. So all these impact not only your health, it impacts the health of your family, it impacts your business, all the places. And nowadays we have tools like AI. People think that, oh, that's going to help me. It'll give you a little bit of information, but information is not going to help you. Transformation will. And I'm doing a workshop, I believe, next week. It's on the 30th of October on Thursday, where we're going to go deeper into your relationships. We're not going to tell you what to do with your relationships. We're going to get you to assess your relationships, what's happening, how can you think about them differently, how can you process them differently, how can you approach them differently. And that might be the workshop needed for you to completely change your approach to your relationships, because we live in a world where technology is accelerating. The world is going in different directions. There's lots of uncertainty. At the least, you want to make sure your relationships are good. The impact of that on you is positive. Your impact is positive in your home, in your business, and all the other areas. Not because it feels good, that's a bonus, but it will make or break how you move forward in your life, in your business, and the things that you do. So I invite you to come to that workshop. You should see an invite somewhere on my page. If you don't see it, I'll put it in the comment section as well. Super excited to see you there. We're going to actually go through a whole process for you to assess your relationships, think about them very differently, and approach them in ways that you haven't even thought about. And you'll also have the opportunity to to join the networking session. If you're an entrepreneur or investor, it will get you to connect with other amazing people who are wanting to and are intentional in their relationships. You want to connect with those people because they tend to be the best partners, collaborators, those kind of things. And also you'll get a bunch of bonuses, my course, a couple of my courses, and the opportunity to go through a PDF that I've built. Click the link below. You'll see all the information. I'll see you next week. Super excited to see you there. And until then, hope you have an incredible day.